Ladies and gentlemen, today's gig will begin in approximately 12 seconds time. It's lovely to be here in my house and lovely to be beaming to you wherever you happen to be. I'm John and I write songy shows with puns in the title. Someone's got to do it, right? Today is an extra special occasion though, because today this is the world premiere of a show that has not one but 2 puns in the title. This is Nature Under Lockdown and Keychange. You might actually need to see that written down so you can get your heads around just how bad those puns are. Anyway, this project was commissioned by Live and Local. Hello, Live and Local. It was funded by Warwickshire County Council. Hiya, thank you. And it was created in partnership with a lovely little community woodland in Leamington Spa called Foundry Wood. Hello. I've written 5 songs about nature, about humans, and about how the two have interacted during the past 6 rather bizarre months we've had. I didn't just pluck the contents for these songs straight from my brain, though. I sent out some questionnaires. I got your help with these songs, so thank you for that help. One of the questions that I asked was, do you have any favourite natural environments that you like to spend time in? Because, you see, personally, I like a really, really dense forest. In this land I'm a visitor, a foreigner, a tourist. I think it's wicked to be picking through a thicket, flicking nettles with a stick. The unpredictability's one thing I find exciting. The shimmering forest canopy is ever so inviting. And I am happy huddle hopping when I'm not inside my habitat of brick. Some may prefer to be lounging beside the sea, checking out lapping waves, seeing how clouds behave. Some may be hilltop drawn, some may seek fields at dawn. Some people love a good nature reserve. Some may hang out and veg by a nice boundary hedge. Some find it not so harsh out on a windy marsh. Some think their time's well spent down on their allotment. Some think the park a bit of a lark, watching kiddies catching frisbees and the doggy chase a stick. Some may quite like to sit on a bench for a bit, watching from time to time squirrels and beetles climb up an oak tree. But me, I know where I'd prefer to be, picking through a thicket, catching nettles with a stick. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but it gives me a kick. Thank you! Thank you very much! You may clap, you don't have to. But, you may, but you don't, but you... I literally am the only person here. This is not the first time I've performed live online this year, but definitely doesn't quite feel normal yet. Been a funny old year generally, hasn't it? We've all had unique experiences. Hey, it's not for me to say whether yours was positive or negative. I know from the questionnaires I've received that there was definitely a mix of both. There is, however, one entity, shall we call it, that has had a pretty much universally good time of it while we've been locked away. And that entity is planet Earth. There are so many anecdotal reports from around the world of like wild animals roaming the city streets, bird songs singing out loud and clear, insects proliferating. Environmental scientists are very interested to see whether there has been any actual measurable effect, whether nature really has bounced back a bit. Now, in order to study something, it's good to give it a name, right? And the name that the scientists have chosen is the Anthropause. Earlier this year, oh dear, a new virus did appear, and once it hit our nation, oh damnation, it completely changed the lives of our entire population, with the bold ambition of breaking the transmission. We took the decision to call an intermission from constant activity and rein in our liberty to cut the probability of all-out misery. And while we waited till the virus had abated and nature was elated, a name for this era has been designated. They're calling it the Anthropause. It's given nature the freedom to recover while we've stayed indoors. The Anthropause. 6 months or so for the weeds to grow and the planet to heal its sores. It's emptied our purses, our curses, a small part of which the state so kindly reimburses. I don't wish to be a moaner, but oh, Corona, I can't even see my friends. I've become such a loner. And as we wallow in furlough, we've let the year go fallow. And though for some it's an inferno, for nature it's hallowed. For as the human curtails his aeroplane trails and his trains on the rails, nature proudly unveils what they're calling the Anthropause. The core cause of jackdaws have drowned out the 4x4s. The Anthropause. It might not last long enough to replenish the carbon stores. The Anthropause. The Anthropause. The original intention behind this project was a little bit different from how it turned out. My original pitch to Live and Local, before I was paired with the wonderful Foundry Wood, was that I would write songs about what had happened literally in the community that I was writing about during lockdown. Well, my community turned out to be a wood that had been bolted shut during lockdown, so in a sense, nothing much was going on. But that's not entirely true, is it? There is always something happening, even when our backs are turned. So this is my fulfilling my original remit song, and it's called The Weeds. The golden rod at Foundry Wood is taking over the wildflower bed. As we were stuck at home, it could continue unchallenged its flower bed spread. Wild clematis, when left in peace, will climb with ease upon the trees. The stinging nettle will show its mettle by picking pods on which to settle. The weeds are pleased, they think it grand to be unrestrained by the garden shears. But will they be allowed to stand once pesky humanity reappears. Yes, I didn't promise they'd be long songs. I'm going to put my guitar down now and introduce you to a little friend of mine. Well, I say friend, it's a bit of musical equipment there. I've been in lockdown so long, musical pieces of equipment have become my friends. This is called a Launchpad Mini, and what it does is it triggers sound clips that are stored on my laptop here. For example, if I press this button, hopefully... Yep, that worked. Good. Returning now to these questionnaires that I sent out. They were absolutely jam-packed with incredible stories of people's recent interactions with nature, and this song is my attempt to cram as many of those stories as I could into about 3 minutes. Oh yes, that's right, this is actually quite a wordy song. So if I can, if this works, I'm actually going to put the lyrics to this song in the chat box. There, did that come up? Yeah, there we go. Foundry Wood. It says in lockdown, yeah? So you can read along with the lyrics as we go, hopefully. And I'm just going to go back to that screen for my own sake. Okay, here we go. In lockdown, we count the clock down, living our lives in a ghost town. This Keychange was always gonna be strange, but there are many ways to wipe off that frown. I got really good at knowing which plant's which and which butterfly I watch flutter by. I'm rich in knowledge of each creature in the dish and can identify each flower I espy. It's never too late to learn a new skill, and it gives me a thrill to tell species apart at will. I feel closer to nature now I'm in, no it's nomenclature, it is less of a stranger, and that is nothing but thrill. Lockdown, Keychange, I kept pet cabbage white caterpillars in a pot, watched them get fat, fed them dinners. I saw them construct their cocoons like little balloons. Then pretty soon one late afternoon I said, whoa, get a load of this metamorphosis. Is this a metaphor for us? Sharing what's in store for us. Once our lockdowns unlocked, will we be shocked to discover the wings that freedom brings? Lockdown, Keychange, I do kung fu in the park after dark. It had gone a bit tits up for a baby blue tit, so I rescued it. I indulged with strange behaviours like sharing seedlings with neighbours and going while swimming in the river Lem. My mind is brimming and I just can't stem the feeling of connectedness and utter bliss as I do this. All tension is released and I am totally at peace. Lockdown, Keychange, occasionally I feel an overwhelming sense of foreboding, and I'm in need of helping, of recharge reloading. So I sit under a tree and I become the tree, and the tree becomes me, and that way I'm happy. I take in all the beauty that I can see in a simple blade of grass. Even the sound of water running can be truly stunning. Turns out I'm loving being in lockdown. We count the clock down, living our lives in a ghost town. This Keychange was always gonna be strange, but there are many ways to wipe off that frown. Lockdown, Keychange. Karaoke indeed, Cara, definitely karaoke. I hope you were all rapping along there. So as soon as the lockdown rules allowed, I went and visited Foundry Wood over the course of a few days. It was actually my first ever time visiting Leamington Spa, which is such a lovely place. I really liked Leamington Spa. It's a wonderful town. But I totally fell in love with Foundry Wood. It's just beautiful. I was allowed to take part in a couple of ecotherapy sessions there, which was very special. And it's just this lovely, perfect little pocket of loveliness. But what is it, I hear you asking? What is the history of this wood you keep going on about, John? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I'm about to tell you. Through the power of song. This is the final song I will be playing you today. So any questions you have, now might be a good moment to start having them rolling in, and we'll do, I don't know, 10 minutes or so of Q&A after I've done this song. Please check out the Ensonglopedia website or search YouTube for Ensonglopedia for more songs about other stuff. I write a lot of songs about science mainly, and also some other subjects, so check that out. Please like the Ensonglopedia Facebook page to find out when I'm actually releasing the album of these songs as well, which is hopefully going to be in a few weeks' time. And of course, like the Foundry Wood page as well while you're at it. Why not? Why not? That's where you're watching this now. Meanwhile, though, here is my anthem for my favourite community woodland in the world. Under Section 106 of the Town and Country Planning Act, a triangular strip of land between two active railway tracks was leased to the community for a peppercorn a year, and for that we give a loud resounding cheer. Hip hip hooray for Foundry Wood, for every day it does such good. It does as much for its community as any woodland could. This place is an oasis that'll never stay in stasis. That's why we say hooray for Foundry Wood. 29 minutes walk from the very heart of England, in a tranche of land twixt railway lines, twixt Leamington and Birmingham. One day, as if by magic, a lovely woodland did appear, and for that we give a loud resounding cheer. Hip hip hooray for Foundry Wood, since 2012 it's proudly stood, doing as much for its community as any woodland could. This place is an oasis that'll never stay in stasis. That's why we say hooray for Foundry Wood. What used to be a railway siding is now some public land providing peace and tranquility, toilet facilities, a range of activities to suit all proclivities. There's even the distinct possibility that it'll unlock your creativity. So today we say hip hip hooray for Foundry Wood, for every day it does such good. It does as much for its community as any woodland could. This place is an oasis that'll never stay in stasis. That's why we say hooray for Foundry Wood. Everybody, final chorus, sing along wherever you are. Hip hip hooray for Foundry Wood, for every day it does such good. It does as much for its community as any woodland could. This place is an oasis that'll never stay in stasis. That's why we say hooray for Foundry Wood. Yes, that's why we say hooray for Foundry Wood. No, your screen hasn't frozen. That's the end of the gig.